Welcome back everyone to another Tumblr time video where we'll read more Tumblr posts because I like Tumblr, okay? I don't have an actual reason for most of these. Unyielding silence. Okay. No one will ever believe you. What? The silence yielded. The Germans really cooked with hobbyless behavior as an insult. It is both devastating, applicable to a wide range of people and behaviors, and doesn't resort to swearing. Man ranting on the internet about the Super Bowl halftime show or complaining that something is woke, hobbyless behavior. Girls mocking other girls for not looking right, hobbyless behavior. Mindless vandalism, hobbyless behavior. It is more powerful than get a life or the English you're sad because it gets to the central point of the matter, and that is wonderful. Danke Dutch. Shout out people with tooth gaps, by the way, or overbites, or underbites, or crossbites, or uneven teeth, or other dental conditions. And other people who don't want to / can't afford to get that stuff fixed. I love you. Additive edit from reblogs and replies. Also people with discolored teeth, broken and damaged and decaying teeth, and missing / no teeth. And I'll probably keep adding stuff as I think of it. Just know I love your teeth and or lack thereof. You're cool and I love you. Did a brand new kind of bowling shot today. Ball went here. This pin fell. We call it the trust the force Luke shot. Or the through God all things are possible shot. Me lightly touching Manette with the side of my foot. Manette, move out of the way please so I don't trip on you. Manette, her eyes enormous. You kick Manette? You kick her body like the football? Oh, jail for mother for 1,000 years. Patricia Lockwood has officially completed 6 years of her 1,000-year sentence. Patricia Lockwood has officially completed 7 years out of her full 1,000-year sentence. Oh, I'm so sleepy. Won't you use tuck to tuck me into bed? First oak. Did anyone else have terrible dreams about a gnarled, twisted forest with one tree more terrible and hateful than all the rest? When I choose the most popular response in a subjective Tumblr poll, aw, heck yeah, I chose the correct response. I'm gonna get a good grade in Tumblr poll, a thing that is normal to want, impossible to achieve. When I choose the least popular response to a subjective Tumblr poll, I am the taste maker, a trailblazer, avant-garde, and the uncultured masses cannot fathom the secret depths of my genius. The stuff you do making a dying phone work when you don't want to buy a new phone is amazing. My phone no longer charges unless I plug and unplug the charger exactly 10 times and then flip the charger around, then it works. I don't want to say I have to frick the port a little bit first, but I have to frick the port a little bit first. If it works, it works. I had a cool dream where I was hooting at an owl so I could get it to hoot back at me, and my hoots attracted a wolf. Not interesting. Dream haters are sickly freaks who die in damp caves due to malnutrition. The older I get, the more I appreciate the competency and cooperativeness of those politicians who got together to kill Caesar. 60 agreed to kill him, and only 23 followed through with the plan, if I remember correctly. I'm American. Do you know how psyched I would be to get 23 senators to agree on direct action? According to Christopher Andrew, apparently only one stroke was actually fatal. This is exactly as effective as I expect most politician actions to be honest. I think it's my duty to tell the world that not only a single stab was fatal, but also a bunch of those senators accidentally stabbed each other, and some of them died because of the wounds, cause they were panicking so much while attacking Caesar. This is it. This is the taxpayers' money in action. Incredible. Pointing at a guy in a fursuit, he's not actually a dog. He's lying. I don't know if you're the right person to ask, but today in class there was a girl flirting with me, and I'm wondering if I should shoot my shot or not. No, never shoot your shot and never flirt with anybody again. This post was made by an aromantic person and may contain some bias. Hey, the real answer is I don't know, follow your heart. Average person gets traumatized 3 times a life. Factoid, actually just a disclaimer. The average person gets traumatized 0 times in their life. Traumatos adults who lived in Virginia and got traumatized over 10,000 times each day is an outlier and should not have been counted. Not now, honey. Mommy's yearning for something that once was and will never be again. They should make hollow, fragile sugar candies exactly the size and shape of a light bulb to safely satisfy the body's natural need to eat light bulbs whole. I want so bad. Cop, have you been age regressing? Me about to go for the stuffed dog in my glove compartment? No, officer. Do you know how old you are right now? Me counting on fingers? This many? Step out of the car, please. Who wrote, "Help, I'm a bug," on my letter to Grandma? Evidently some bug. How strange. My fave Calvin and Hobbes joke, and no one puts it anywhere. I highly recommend developing an intense interest in some natural phenomenon or creature such as bugs or stars or mushrooms. You'll be delighted every time you go outside. Last night I was imagining this semi-ironic world where the Ginyu Force are like still completely fictional but also achieved cult status as far surpassed the popularity of DBZ. People were going around wearing Ginyu Force t-shirts. There were Hatsune Miku-esque Vocaloid live concerts where people pretend the Ginyu Force were idols. No one would ever confess how iconic the bit was. This was a more recognizable image than Pikachu. Oh, what a beautiful world you have envisioned. Good naps will have you sleeping in poses usually reserved for dead insects. Devil on my shoulder saying, "You are functioning pretty well, you basically don't have any anxiety anymore." Angel on my other shoulder saying, "Still walk away from perfectly amicable conversations covered in sweat." Orc on my other shoulder saying, "Me want fried tofu." One of the funniest tech things for me is the fricked up, weird file types that entirely confuse your phone so much it asks you stuff like, "Open file with Google Docs, Plague Inc., WhatsApp, Office 365, Clash Royale, Cash App, Spotify." My uncle works for Pentmas, and he's saying they're adding a new way of frickin' with numbers called glibbing it. What is your uncle's name? He's not supposed to reveal that yet. You know, when you use the slash instead of the frown, it genuinely looks like a pout. Less angry and more pouty. It's kind of cute. Pushing a naval mine off a mountain. Me when I have a great idea. Listen, it's perfectly safe. It's not underwater, so it's off its rhythm. Before and after, Yeppy's mustard gravy. Didn't smell good, so I poured it down the drain without taking a bite. Is this like the 5th time you cooked that exact dog, man? My plug's got a special strain I be buying in bulk. One man's hyperfixation is another man's block tag. How to feel like a person. Don't live with your mom. Again, with not responding to a tag game because you don't know what to say is the Tumblr equivalent of staying home from a party due to social anxiety. Too much information isn't a thing. This is my blog. Phones love to go. Do you want to clear 0.3 gigabytes by deleting these cherished pictures that you haven't looked at for more than 30 days, while also installing random apps and AI BS you didn't ask for, and you can't even uninstall half the apps? And this is why we jailbreak. So mad I can't see straight. Yeah, I just don't think ChatGPT is a good classroom tool. Would it be considered gay to go for a walk in the evening? Yes, like, obviously. Which is why you should do it. How to tell if I'm gay? Step 1. Make a Tumblr account. You know those jumbles of the letters? They're called words. They represent meaning. Now, the tricky thing about words is you need to read all of them to understand what a person is saying. Sometimes entire sentences, or, God forbid, paragraphs. But I believe in you. I believe if you try hard enough and take it slow, you can manage to read all the words in a post before replying to it. It's quite fascinating that Tumblr's shitposting game is so strong considering how inhospitable this site's design is to jokes. Anything short of rank this is a shitpost, not an actual held stance, and the post itself will inevitably net you a bunch of comments about how actually throwing a custard pie at someone's face is legally assault, and that clown should be rotting in jail. Rehabilitatively, of course. I'm so tired of the "why do people hate A-specs, they aren't even doing anything" argument. I know it's an attempt to support us, but it feels so spectacular to understand aromanticism, asexuality, and any other A-spectrum identity that it's actively frustrating. We are doing something. We're rejecting allonormative ideals, and that's a massive thing to do. We're actively fighting not just to help other aspects, but to help everyone, because abnormality and allonormality as a whole hurt everyone. Single people who want to find a partner but can't also deserve to be able to exist. There are so many issues with the exception of marriage, including a single income isn't enough to get by anymore. Having a spouse is almost necessary under a certain medical system. Society shames and pressures people who are single into getting into relationships constantly. Rejecting allonormativity means fighting against these things that hurt everyone. So no, aces and arrows and other aspects aren't doing nothing. We're doing quite a lot. As someone who experiences very little actual sexual attraction and spent several years being fully sex repulsed, I will tell you right now, people really hate the idea that someone can just not want it. Like, I know it's not everyone, but there are a lot of people that get really fussy at the idea that you could not want it. And the amount of people that think that they're being judged purely because I don't want sex myself is freaking infuriating. I love polyamory, I love aromanticism, I love queer platonic relationships, I love communal child rearing. Let's all get weirder forever. The great thing about Tumblr is that you can meet people you'll vibe with on a level you have never vibed with anyone before, and the tragedy about Tumblr is that they almost certainly will live in our country. Important rules for the age verification era of the internet that we're living in. Do not do age verification. If you have to do age verification, cheat. Do not under any circumstances give them your real ID. It's Pride Month, you know what that means. Do you want me to sell gay kitties? Pretty much all usage of generative AI that I see people doing involves a lot of try a prompt, get output that's not right, tweak, try again. And I think it's essential for understanding the mindset here that this is just straight up an output gotcha. It might get it right on the first go around this time. It's like a classic Skinner box, except instead of getting a sparkly piece of loot, it's the correct answer to a question you give it, or the image you ask for, or code that actually works. Happy Pride Month, be gay, do math. Oh heck yeah, I will. I'll also force a bunch of children to do the same, at least to do math. Can't force them to be gay, I guess. Turns out it wasn't the drag queens indoctrinating children, it was the math teachers all along. The witch cursed you to become a monster so that your outsides would reflect your character. Your hometown took this news better than you would have thought. A lot better. You're more popular than ever and got immediately swapped with marriage proposals from just about everyone available in town. That would actually make a really interesting story if this horrifying curse form, everyone actually does like it. Especially if, hypothetically, the person cursed to look like the monster is the only one who doesn't. June 1st, corporations. I just think they're an exploitable market demographic. Listen, marketing as exploitation discussions aside, rainbow capitalism has been, and continues to be a canary in the coal mine of the social acceptance of the queer community. Feel all part of my American centrism for a moment. The amount, visibility, and flamboyance of Pride merch available in clothing, home goods, and cosmetics stores is a direct reflection of how safe it is to be queer in public in the United States. How? Simple. Outgroups aren't profitable. If you're not acceptable in a certain social climate, big franchise businesses will not market to you. Prime example, look how quickly Target dropped all their Pride merch after having been wall-to-wall rainbows every June for almost a decade prior. Sure, capitalism sucks, and being viewed as an exploitable market demographic isn't a fun concept. However, the grim truth is that being normalized enough to be considered profitable by corporations is a good thing in terms of a barometer of social acceptance. Same thing that goes for small businesses that throw kitschy pride events, or even just a token rainbow flag in the window or somewhere inside the shop. That's a level of acceptance that did not exist 30 years ago, and I can tell you because I was there. The fact that we can scoff and complain about being an exploitable market demographic nowadays means that we have made gigantic strides since the 1990s. It also speaks to the fact that the drive and the conversation surrounding LGBTQ plus rights and acceptance are continuing and getting louder. You can be cynical about it if you want, but I will take a store that puts out lip service rainbow merch over a world that pretends we don't exist any day of the week, because that will always mean something. Sincerely, an elder queer. To add to this, most companies will do this with other groups as well. I've noticed a weird trend of people treating rainbow capitalism as if it's a unique issue. It's really not. Companies taking cultures and parading them in order to profit off them and then immediately throwing them aside, and even putting that money towards groups that actively harm said communities, is not unique to rainbow capitalism. Can confirm, in 322, no one gives a shoot if you're trans, gay, straight, and corporations, well, they do, and they just do whatever they can to exploit you. I've been phasing the phrase Google it out of my vocabulary and going back to look it up. Frick you, you've lost your generic trademark privileges. Everyone in the tags going, oh, but DuckDuckGo sounds worse. Wikipedia is such a mouthful. I've been saying DuckDuck went, haha, stop that. These are companies. We're going from one company to another. DuckDuckGo and I are not friends. We're business partners. Wikipedia is my colleague. We don't need to turn them into verbs unless we want to be going through the exact same thing in like 15 years. We trusted Google and look at us now. Took the ball of assorted office supplies? Ugh. I'm telling HR. June 1st, it's tomorrow. It means that gay people will exist, but only for 1 month. Do not forget to buy your ticket to see them now, or else you have to wait an entire year to be able to meet them again. And it's for free! Yay! No, I'm not obsessed with that character because of romantic or sexual attraction. I'm obsessed because they're my little silly, my best friend, my pal. Hey, how do I unswear a blood oath? Just found out my king is using AI. Amulet intelligence. Oh, buddy. And we'll cut it there. I hope you all enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that cool YouTube stuff. And like always, I wish you all an absolutely fantastic week.